Blue is my carrot, can you help me out tonight? We're searching for the answers that shine so bright. Blue, where's my carrot? Let's light up the way. Together we'll find treasure. Come on.
Welcome back
What
to
do you
Dude,
say?
Where's My Carrot? Episode 2.
Glad to be here.
We're plunging headfirst into the dazzling world of gemstones. I'm your host, ready to dig up some seriously cool stuff.
And I'm here to add a bit of the gemological perspective.
Awesome. Today, forget those dusty old rocks you might be picturing. We're diving deep into the, well, mind-bending world of Alexandrites.
A truly fascinating stone.
And hey, a huge shout out to the amazing folks at Gemstones of the Americas. These guys are the real deal, traveling the Americas, north to south, unearthing these treasures themselves.
They really cover the whole process.
Totally. Mining, wholesaling, even selling directly to you. So if it's a gemstone and it's from the Americas, they're your people.
Absolutely. A great resource.
Now, when you hear Alexandria, you might think it sounds like some, I don't know, ancient warrior or something.
It does have that kind of ring to it.
And while there's a bit of history there, trust me, this gem has a superpower that's way cooler than any myth. Seriously, if you think you know gemstones, well, get ready.
It certainly challenges expectations.
So our goal today is really to understand what makes Alexandrite so unique. Where it comes from, what makes it tick.
Exactly. From its origins to the science behind its special properties.
Right. This is a deep dive, remember? No boring textbook stuff, just the cool facts that'll make you sound like a genius at your next get-together.
Well, let's start with the basics then. Alexandrite is a specific type of the mineral chrysoberyl.
Chrysoberyl. Okay.
Now, chrysoberyl itself is quite interesting. Another variety is a golden yellow gem found in Brazil. Locally, they call it chrysolita.
Chrysolita. Sounds familiar.
It can be a bit confusing because that name is also used sometimes for peridot. So different stones, same local name sometimes.
Ah, okay. Gemstone identity crisis.
Sort of. Think of chrysoberyl as the mineral family, and Alexandrite is one of its most prized members.
The VIP of the family. Got it. So what makes Alexandrite the rock star?
It's that incredible ability to change color. This is really what sets it apart.
Color change. Like how?
Imagine this.
Yeah.
In daylight or under those bright, cool fluorescent lights, it usually looks greenish blue, kind of like an emerald maybe.
Okay, greenish blue.
But then you put it under a warm, yellowish, incandescent light, like an old-fashioned light bulb,
Yeah.
and it magically shifts to red or purplish red,
Okay.
like a ruby. People often describe it as emerald by day, ruby by night.
Whoa, hold up. Emerald, anti-ruby vibes. In one stone.
That's the phenomenon.
That's like a superhero with two awesome powers. How on earth does this even pull that off? Is it magic?
Not quite magic, but pretty amazing science.
Yeah.
It's all about how Alexandrite interacts with light.
Okay.
It has tiny bits of something called chromium ions within its crystal structure. Think of them like tiny building blocks.
Chromium, right, like in chrome.
Sort of, yeah, the element chromium.
Yeah.
These ions cause the gem to absorb certain parts of the light spectrum and let others pass through. And this absorption changes depending on the type of light hitting the gem. It absorbs strongly in the yellow and orange regions you see.
So it's like a minuscule light switch. Flipping depending on whether it's getting sunlight or lamplight.
That's a great way to put it, yes.
That's seriously amazing. Mind blown.
It is quite extraordinary. Now, historically, the most famous Alexandrite mines were way over in the Ural Mountains of Russia.
Russia, okay.
Legend says it was discovered there around 1830, and it was named after Tsar Alexander II.
Wow, talk about a grand debut. A gem with a royal namesake.
Definitely adds to the mystique, doesn't it? That cool old Russian history is baked right in.
So was it easy to get out of the ground there?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Getting those Alexandrites out of the Urals was, well, no easy feat. The terrain was rugged,
I bet.
and the harsh Russian winters, they'd brought everything to a complete standstill. Mining could happen in warmer months, sure, but the snow and freezing cold made it impossible for a lot of the year.
So limited digging time.
Very limited. And by the early 1900s, honestly, a lot of the really good Russian Alexandrite had already been mined out.
Ah.
Plus, its popularity, especially with the Russian ruling family, just exploded.
Yeah.
Demand totally outstripped the supply they could get.
So it became a super rare, legendary gem that everyone wanted but couldn't find. Makes total sense.
Exactly. And there's another interesting layer to this, beryl.
That's the bigger mineral family, right?
Right. Beryl contains an element called beryllium.
Uh-huh.
And in Soviet Russia, beryllium turned out to be important for nuclear defense applications.
Wait, nuclear defense? Seriously?
Yes. So this led to a whole lot of beryl mining in that region, specifically between about 1956 and 1971.
Wow.
And that intense focus on beryl for defense actually had an indirect impact on Alexandrite production too, kind of a side effect.
That is a surprising twist. National security affecting gemstone availability. You really don't hear that every day.
Indeed. Now, one mine, the Malasheva mine, did continue to produce some Alexandrite into the early 1990s.
Okay, so some kept coming out.
Some, but the main focus really shifted towards emeralds from that mine. And then, the collapse of the Soviet system created even more complexities.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So Russian Alexandrite has faced ongoing challenges in getting back to its previous levels of production. It's still quite rare from there.
So the original superstar had a pretty dramatic backstory, a real saga.
It really did.
But I've heard whispers that the story doesn't just end in Russia. What about Brazil? I hear about Brazilian Alexandrites.
That's absolutely right. While Russia holds that special place in Alexandrite history, Brazil has definitely become a significant source too.
Okay, so Brazil stepped up.
Yes. In fact, there's even some interesting old evidence, like inquiries from places like New York back in the day, specifically asking for Brazilian Alexandra.
Alexandra, haha.
Seems the demand was so strong, people weren't even sure how to spell it. Proof that when you really want this gem, spelling can go a bit haywire.
Huh. That's fantastic. Okay, so these Brazilian Alexandrites, are they the same incredible color changers? Do they do the same trick?
Yes, absolutely. That color change is the defining characteristic, the fingerprint, really, of Alexandrite, no matter where it comes from.
Cute. Okay.
However, there can be subtle differences, maybe in how intense the color change is or the exact shades of green and red you see.
Ah, nuances.
Exactly. Some Brazilian stones, for example, might show slightly different nuances in their green and red hues compared to, say, a classic Russian stone. But the core phenomenon is the same.
Got it. Same amazing superpower, maybe just a slightly different flavor, like you said. Okay, now, for someone like me who's never actually seen one in person, what's the best way to witness this color change magic?
Well, the most dramatic way is honestly the simplest. Just look at the gem under different lights.
Like walk from outside inside?
Exactly. Look at it under daylight, maybe near a window,
Right.
and then take it under an incandescent light source. An old-style filament bulb is often best. You can literally watch it shift.
Wow, that sounds cool.
Gem experts, gemologists, sometimes use a special tool called a dichroscope. It helps to separate and show the different colors present in the gem more clearly, kind of isolates them.
Ooh, fancy gem detective gadgets. Sounds like something out of a spy movie.
It's quite a useful little tool.
So, okay, if I'm out there maybe looking at jewelry and I see something labeled Alexandrite, are there any, red flags, things that might make me raise an eyebrow?
That's a good question. Because Alexandrite is so rare and valuable, synthetic versions do exist. Lab-grown Alexandrite.
Ah, fakes. Or not fakes, but lab-made.
Lab-made is a better term, yes.
Yeah.
They can show a very similar color change. But sometimes they might lack the very subtle, natural characteristics, tiny imperfections or inclusions that real gemstones often have.
Okay.
However, really telling the difference reliably, that often requires specialized gemological testing. It's not always obvious to the naked eye.
Right. So when in doubt, definitely trust the pros.
Exactly.
Especially experts like the folks at Gemstones of the Americas who really know their stuff inside and out.
Absolutely. They would be able to verify authenticity. And it's also interesting to know, because of Alexandrite's unique optical properties, even smaller cut gems are highly prized.
Really, size doesn't matter as much.
Well, value still increases with size, of course. But unlike some other members of the Chrysoberyl family, like, say, cat's eye Chrysoberyl, which can be found in quite large sizes,
Yeah.
gem-quality Alexandrite, it typically yields smaller stones. Finding large, clean Alexandrites with a strong color change is exceptionally rare.
Ah, okay. So even a tiny bit of this color-changing wonder is a really big deal.
Precisely. It's not just about being huge. It's about that incredible, almost magical transformation.
This has been absolutely fascinating. Seriously, I feel like I've just leveled up my gemstone knowledge, big time.
It's a captivating stone, isn't it? Alexandrite truly stands as a testament to the wonders found within our planet.
For sure.
A gemstone with a story that spans continents and just, captivates everyone with its unique optical illusion.
Well, you've definitely done it again. Another incredible deep dive into the dazzling world of gems, and seriously, my brain is just sparkling with all this new info.
Happy to share it.
Who knew one little gemstone could have such an amazing history and such a mind-bending scientific trick going on? And hey, remember to check out Gemstones of the Americas for all your gemstone needs. These folks are absolutely the real deal.
Definitely worth checking out.
Okay, so for one last thought to maybe ponder, thinking about this incredible color-changing ability of Alexandrite, what other things around us, things that seem kind of static, might have hidden transformations just waiting for the right conditions, you know?
That's an interesting thought.
It just reminds us that sometimes the most fascinating things have these hidden depths, right? Just like the amazing gems we explore right here.
A nice parallel.
So until our next deep dive, keep those curious minds sparkling, everyone.